Hey everybody, it's Angela from abpan.com, and this is the first video of my new video series of how to create better pictures, how to create beautiful pictures. So the first few videos are going to be about exposure, the 3 different things that you need to learn to have a well-exposed image. Those are the words. And then we'll talk about different functions of your camera. We'll talk about like white balancing. We'll talk about tripods. We'll talk about all of that stuff. All photography fun stuff. So today we're going to talk about ISO. The first thing you need to learn about exposure. And it's a pretty simple concept. Remember back in the day how we all had to buy film, like film canisters, and then we had to buy them based on what we were going to shoot, if we were going to shoot indoor situations, outdoor situations, low light, whatever. And so that was based on different numbers: 100, 200, 400, 800, 1,000. I don't know, it probably went up more than that. But now with digital photography, we don't have to worry about that. So let me tell you what those numbers mean. The lower numbers means it's a lower ISO setting, and then that means there's a lot of available light. So if you're outside on a sunny day, you want to put your camera onto 100. If you're outside, if you're out taking night photography, or like you're in a concert or some low lighting situation, you want to bump up your ISO to like 800 or 1,000. I think my camera goes all the way up to like 3,200 or something like that. So you want to kind of guess where your ISO is going to be. But there are a few things with ISO. First of all, when you bump up your ISO, that means your shutter speed is also going to be faster. We'll talk about shutter speed in a different video, but basically the higher your ISO, the faster your shutter speed. So that's something to consider when you're taking motion pictures. Like if you're taking sporting events, or like you're taking pictures of like a river with flowing water, and you want to know if, so you want to determine if you want a high shutter speed or low shutter speed, and your ISO will affect that too. So the higher your ISO, the higher your shutter speed. Also, you don't want to go too crazy with just shooting up your ISO, because it will also create a lot of grain in your images, especially when you don't need your ISO to be as high as it is. So here's a little tip that I do. I usually always keep my ISO at 100 because I'm always shooting with a tripod. I say about like 95% of the time I'm always shooting with a tripod, unless I'm like somewhere where tripods aren't allowed, or yeah, about 95% of the time I'm shooting with a tripod. So if you're shooting with a tripod, then try to keep your ISO as low as you can, because you don't want all that unnecessary grain, and you just don't need it. Especially if it's a still object, you don't have to worry about your shutter speed and it being too fast or too slow. So I hope you guys learned what ISO is, and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get more digital photography tips. Oh yeah, one more thing. I completely forgot to mention. One important part about digital photography is read your camera manual. I cannot stress enough how much you need to read your camera manual. If you don't read your camera manual, you will not know how to use your camera to full capacity. I mean, like, how are you going to know how to switch your ISO from 100 to 400 to 800 and test out all the different ISO settings without reading your camera manual? So read your camera manual, subscribe to this channel, check out abpan.com, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.